What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be going over the step-by-step secret formula that I used and that I developed to sell any kind of service you're selling. Now, more specifically, this video is tailored to vast business owners. If you don't know what a vast business is, essentially it's a virtual accounting service business. If you want more details on that, I did make a complete separate video. I'll link it down below. You can go and check that out. Now, if you know what a vast businesses and you're looking to sell the actual services and you're wondering, how do I go about that? This is the exact video that you want to watch. I see a lot of people making these mistakes, and I'm not blaming them because I'm 100% guilty. I made these mistakes when I first started out. In fact, I couldn't get a single sales call, let alone close a sale. It took me roughly 4 months. I think it was 3 months and 3 weeks to get my first ever sales call. And that was brutal, grinding for those 3 months. So it took me almost 4 months to get my first ever sales call. And when I did get my sales call, I completely blew it. I was not effective. It was not a great call. And obviously I did not get the sale. It just sucked. Now, what I did is I got more and more sales calls. So that gave me more experience. And eventually I got better. I critiqued my strategies. I critiqued my techniques. And eventually, I started closing deals. I improved on what worked and I disregarded what didn't work. And naturally, my sales just kept growing and growing and growing. So in this video, we're gonna go over, first, what we're gonna go over is what you guys are doing wrong. And this is exactly what I did wrong. I've got my notes here. So we'll start off with number 1. You guys are selling the features of whatever you're selling. And what I mean by that is I'll use myself as an example. One of the main features about my service is you got monthly reports every single month. I was selling that feature. And the way that I was selling it was through different softwares that I used. I'd say, oh, I use this software and it's got this feature that will go into your company financial statements and extract this kind of report so that you can determine how much inventory you've got. In all reality, the business owner doesn't care about my software. He doesn't care what I use to get him the information. He just wants to know the information. So what I did is I switched to selling the result, okay? And what that looked like was, instead of selling the reporting features, I said, oh yeah, and by the way, in my service, you get reports on X item. So if I'm giving you inventory reports, I would say something like, you get reports on X inventory supply so that you can determine whether you need to order more or sell more or go on sale so that you can properly plan your next promotions and stuff like that. I got him thinking about, oh shit, yeah, no, you're right. I've got promotions coming up in like 2 weeks. There's a national holiday coming up next month that I still have inventory that I need to sell. Oh shit, yeah, I don't know, of course. That is what that did versus if I just said, yeah, I've got these features that tell you what kind of inventory you're looking at. I mean, it's good, but selling the result is way better. It's way more convincing and it's more emotional, which sales is all about emotions, okay? So that's mistake number 1, is you're selling the features when you want to sell the result of what that client will get. Number 2 is, now maybe this isn't for you, but I know that this was my issue, is I got way too excited, okay? I get all excited, I get a little jittery, and once I got jittery, my heart started racing, right? Once my heart started racing, I started to stutter. I naturally have a stutter, but when I'm nervous and I'm excited and my heart starts racing, I get an even bigger stutter, a more noticeable stutter. So saying almost every word, I would just start stuttering. And it's not that if you stutter, the sale's done. I still stutter on most of my sales calls and I still close them. It's because I've changed the way that my tonality is and everything like that. But for being excited, if you stutter, or if you speak too quickly, you start to sound nervous. And like I said before, it's not a bad thing, but compared to someone who's nonchalant, chill, relaxed, yeah, you know, you get this service, you get that. They're not lazy. They don't sound like they just rolled out of bed, but they're not jittery. You know, they're almost talking to you as if you're a friend and you're not a prospect that they're on their knees begging for. And that's exactly what I did, is I got too excited, and it made me look desperate for the sale. And if you're in business, you don't want to work with desperate people. You want to work with confident people who know what they're doing. And it's just a human psychology thing, really. So the way that I fixed that is I had to change my whole mentality behind it. I don't have a switch where I go, okay, Evan, stop being jittery, and then I just flip it and boom. I don't have that switch. I need to almost trick myself into thinking of certain situations. So what I did is, if I have a prospect, let's say his name's Joe. Okay, Joe. Joe's my friend. Joe and I are best buds. We've been friends since high school. We go out to the bar every now and then. We go out partying, we drink together, we have fun. Joe's a cool guy. I will still be professional, 100%. I will still be professional, but Joe is now my friend. So when I call Joe, I'm like, hey Joe, what's up? Yep, just Evan here calling from X company. Yep, no, I just saw that you sent in a inquiry just to get a year end done. Oh, you want bookkeeping too? Okay, yeah. Well, how come you want that? Do you have a bookkeeper, or do you not want to do it yourself, or what's going on with that? Okay, yeah, no, fair, cool, all right. How about a GST? Do you need a GST return? You do? Okay. All right, sounds good. Hey, Joe, quick question. Are you behind on any filings? No? Okay, cool, sweet. That is honestly how my sales calls go. Like, that is exactly how they go. There's no secret formula of saying certain words to trick the person into doing this. And that's one thing I can't stand with sales is I see these sales gurus going online and they start talking about get the prospect to say yes as much as possible. And even to the point where I've been asked insane questions, where I've been asked questions like, hey, if we could add $300,000 to your top line revenue, would you be interested? Like, okay, first off, don't waste my time with these kind of questions. Okay, if you have something that's honestly going to add 300 grand a month in top line revenue, what is it? You know, like, you don't need these secret tactics and strategies. You just need to be confident, cool, and collect. Okay? 3 C's: confident, cool, collect. Write that down. All right. So just to recap, too excited, okay? Don't be too excited. Treat the prospect as their friend. Still be polite, still be professional, but treat them as your friend, all right? And the third mistake that I make, and that a lot of these beginners make, is they don't have a plan at the end of the call. And what I mean by that is when it would be approaching the end of the discovery call, let's say after 10, 15, 20 minutes of asking them questions, going back and forth, I'd most likely give them a quote. And the way that the calls went for 90% of the time, it was, okay, great, thanks. We'll chat soon. I will let you know. And I'm like, okay, sounds good. That's where I went wrong. Okay, there was no plan there. The prospect was in control 100% of the time. So what I do now is when I give a quote and I tell them the plan and how it goes, I immediately say, when do you want to get started? If they're ready to go right now, which probably 50% of the time they are, the other 50%, they need to go see other prospects, they need to go see other firms, see what the prices are, see what other packages get them what. It's completely normal. You would do the exact same thing. You know, I'm sure if you're looking for a dentist, unless it's a 911, if you're looking for a dentist, you're probably going to search around. You're going to look at the Google reviews. You're going to look at their website. You're going to see if they're close, if they're far, what their prices are. You're going to look around. It's the same thing with VAS-based businesses, virtual accounting. Now, what I used to do is I just let the call end. I'd say, sure, no worries. Let me know if you have questions. Take care, bye. And obviously, I would never hear from them again. Sometimes I would, but very rarely. So I came up with a plan to have a plan at the end of the call. And what I mean by that is I would say, great, here's everything that I can do for the price. How do you want to move forward? If they said yes to moving forward right then and there, I just get them onboarded right now. That's no issues. If they ended up saying that they needed to think about it, and they had to talk to their wife, their business partner, they want to go look around, I would say, okay, great, John, I don't want to lose track of you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set myself a quick reminder here to follow up with you. How much time do you need? Do you want 2 days, 3 days, a week? What do you want? Then the prospect will say, oh, let's say 3 days. Okay, John, I've got you penciled in for, let's say if it's a Monday, I'll say, okay, John, I've got you penciled in for Thursday at 1 p.m. Does that work? Yeah, that should work. Okay, great, John. I'm going to give you a call Thursday at 1 p.m. In the meantime, if you have any questions, just let me know. I'm more than happy to help. Now here's a little bonus. Here's some sauce, okay? From Monday until Thursday, I'm thinking about what went on in that call. And if they thought of a specific issue that we didn't really talk about, I will send them either some more info or an article or a YouTube video or something, maybe a video that I made, something like that the prospect is going through. So for example, I had a prospect who needed bookkeeping, corporate taxes, and payroll. I took care of his bookkeeping, corporate taxes. I don't really do payroll. I'm not the best at payroll. I don't personally like it all that much, so I don't really deal with payroll. But I found an article showing the software that fixes that prospect's exact issue. So before our call, I actually texted that prospect the link to the article going over this new software. And I'm like, hey, John, I just found this new software. If this is what you're looking for, I can get you set up with it. No issues, no extra charge. That guy, I closed 2 days later. Now, whether it was because of that software or whether he was already sold with me, it doesn't matter. I got him as a client and I sent him that extra detail. I showed him that I cared. But all of that came from having a plan. If I just thought, okay, John, sounds good. Yep. Go look around. If you got questions, just let me know. Okay, bye. Then once the call ended, John's out of my mind. I'm on to the next call. I'm on to my to-do list, doing my work, stuff like that. But since I had it in my head, okay, in 2 days, I'm having another call with John. How can I prepare? Okay, I can do this. That is what I did. And that's what you need to do too. You need to have a plan leaving the call. So if they need time to think about it, 100%, that's completely fine. You don't have to be a hard sales tactic and go, well, hey, I just want to get you on the deal right now because sales ending or blah, blah, blah. Everyone knows that the sale's not ending, okay? Everyone knows that. So if they need time to think about it, of course, I don't want to lose track of you. I want to keep you within my sight lines. When should I follow up with you? Can I give you a call in 2 days, 3 days, 5 days? Let them answer and then pencil them in and make sure you call them. If they're ready to go right there, just get them onboarded and that's it. You just close the deal. And that is essentially it. That's the 3-step process. That's the 3-step formula that I use to close and sell more deals. Before, when I didn't use these, I'd be losing deals. I think I was at like a 10% closing rate. Now I'm upwards of 40 to 60% depending on the month. But that is what I use to close all of my deals with. And I still use it to this day. So with that said, if you guys found value in this, go ahead and drop a like. If you guys want to comment below the next kind of videos that you want to watch, I will be posting more. If you want to learn more about how to grow your own VAST-based business, virtual accounting service business, then what I'm doing is I'm putting together a step-by-step guide on how I grew mine to zero to over $150,000 in total revenue in under 12 months. So if you guys want that exact same guide, I'm going to add a waiting list down below. Go ahead and click that link. Add your name and email to the waiting list and you will get early access to when it is released, and you'll also get different promotions and a lot of cool other stuff. So you guys, with that said, thank you for watching and I will see you in the next video. Peace.